Have you ever wondered if the circus members feel pain or not? Because throughout the 2 episodes that we currently have, they have experienced a bunch of pain, and especially Ragatha. She has pretty much been through it all. In this video, I'm going to go through a couple theories that might explain if the circus members feel pain or not. It's going to cover the whole thing, from physical pain to mental pain. In the first episode of the amazing digital circus, we see Pomni walking backwards into Jax, creating a whole domino effect where Jax, Kinger and Gangle fall down. After this scene, we actually see Jax standing up and rubbing his lower back. Not that it's really hurting like crazy, but I do think just from this scene that the circus members feel a bit of pain. But something that might debunk this already is when Pomni tries to pull her eye out of her eye socket.
How do I take this headset off?
Just keep grabbing at it. That worked for all of us.
What's going on? I put on some weird headset and now I'm...
This is where you think the video ends. But actually, this isn't really painful at all for Pomni. The amazing digital circus is a literal cartoon show with cartoon characteristics, and that means usual human autonomy doesn't really work like it does in the real world. If you pulled your eyes out of your eye socket in real life, you would feel excruciating pain, and you might even faint. But in this case, Pomni's eye seems to be strongly attached to her head, and I actually think this is one of her passive abilities, that she can stretch a lot. And where did we see Pomni stretch a lot? We saw it in episode 2 when Pomni was holding the 2 trucks, the stolen truck with maple syrup and the circus members' truck.
Ah, that's perfect! Just hold that pose, I gotta get something.
It looked like she didn't feel any pain, but only when Kinger threw a swim ring at her head.
You know, I swear there was some kind of bazooka back here, but I'm having such trouble finding it.
Pomni, take this!
But enough with Pomni, let's get into Gangle. You might not have paid that much attention to when Jax breaks her face mask even more, but I actually believe that Gangle feels some sort of pain whenever her mask gets destroyed. But how? Well, we always see her cry when it happens, but we don't see her experiencing any physical pain, only mental pain, because she cries when it happens. The first time her mask broke, it was literally when Pomni made Jax, Kinger, and Gangle fall. But other than Gangle, we also have Kinger, and Kinger is a really interesting character because he can literally disconnect his eyes and put it somewhere else. And we actually saw that episode 2 when Pomni and Gummy Goo got out of the truck and Ragatha ran towards them.
Pomni, are you okay? Well, what happened?
But I actually think that it's just one of the cartoon characteristics that Kinger have. But other than him just disconnecting his eyes from his head, we actually see him experiencing some pain in episode 1. When Jax opened the door to Kaufmo's room, he ran away and coincidentally ran into Kinger and Gangle. He knew that Kaufmo was coming, so he literally threw a bowling ball at Kinger.
I don't think I've ever seen him this happy before.
Well, it's good to know he hasn't completely lost his mind.
He actually asked me to give you this.
Whoa!
We can definitely see that Kinger felt some kind of pain from a whole bowling ball hitting him in the stomach. Let's get into the next character, Zooble. I don't think we have seen Zooble experience any physical pain yet. We do know her cartoon characteristic. She can literally be dismembered, just as we saw when the Gloinks kidnap her and take each of her individual limbs.
If anyone needs me... Oh no, they killed Zooble. Anyway, you guys want to go get something to eat?
Even though we haven't seen any physical pain that has happened to Zooble, I definitely think that something is going on with her mentally. Not that she's about to extract or anything, but it all has to do with her staying in the digital circus. But that is something I will get into in another video, because I might have a theory that no one has covered yet. But let's get back into the theory. Zooble can't be said much about yet, so let's get into Jax. Jax is interesting because we usually see him inflicting damage upon the other circus members because he usually doesn't get hit or anything like that. But as I said at the start, we do see him rubbing his back after falling. But something that might have hurt him even more was when a Gloink jumped straight at his head and jumped away.
I'm fine with doing whatever, as long as I get to see funny things happen to people. Ow. Okay, I've already had enough of these things.
I can't lie, Jax is just as dry as Zooble. Those two don't really experience pain like the rest of the circus members. But there is one circus member that I haven't covered yet, and she's actually the highlight of this video, Ragatha. From just the 2 episodes that we have gotten, we can already see that Ragatha is being treated like a punching bag. I actually think that Ragatha has experienced the most pain out of all the circus members, and Ragatha might confirm my theories that I have on the circus members feeling pain. Let's get into it. In episode 2, when Kane activated the adventure, we see Zooble getting taken away by the Gloinks. So 2 teams were formed, and the reason for that was because someone needed to check on Kaufmo and someone needed to rescue Zooble from the Gloinks. So Pomni, Ragatha and Jax were the ones who were responsible to check on Kaufmo, and Gangle and Kinga responsible to rescue Zooble. Even though it should be reversed, 3 people checking on one person is a bit extreme.
Ow. Okay, I've already had enough of these things. You, me, and Pomni will go check on Kaufmo, which leaves Crybaby and Hoo-Ha together to go handle the Zooble situation.
Do you think pairing them up together is a good idea?
Of course I do. They're the 2 most mentally stable and capable characters to be paired together.
But nonetheless, when they go into the dorm room hall, Jax reveals that he has a key to Kaufmo's room, and that is when it went downhill for Ragatha. Kaufmo literally beat her to a pulp. She got beaten so hard that she even started to glitch.
Whoa, Kaufmo! Listen, I know we didn't always get along, like when you called me out for fake laughing at your jokes. I swear I really did think they were funny. I was just having a bit of a bad day! Hey, Pomni!
Now this is where my theory gets interesting, because I actually believe that Ragatha feels a lot of pain, but not something that can be experienced in real life. On Gooseworks Tumblr, someone asked a question. What would happen if one of the characters just straight up pulled Jax's ears as hard as they could for science? And Gooseworks' reply was, it would hurt. So from this answer alone, we can confirm that the circus members actually feel pain. So I believe that Ragatha felt pain that was really excruciating because she is a character in the game, and glitching is not something that just normally happens. This also happened to Pomni when she tried to help Ragatha.
I want to
Pomni's hand began to glitch, and just from that little physical interaction, she got hurt and so scared that she wouldn't help Ragatha when she needed help. I actually think the pain level would be similar to someone beating her with a bat. But this isn't the only occasion Ragatha gets hurt and injured. You have probably seen episode 2 by now, and the action in it was honestly exhilarating, even though it was very short. But let's get into the first few things. When Gangle drove on the rocky road, we see Kinga and Ragatha being thrown around in the back, and when they got up, they had knives in their heads. Kinga literally had 5 knives inside his head. Luckily, they didn't hit his eyes. But on the other hand, Ragatha literally had 1 kitchen knife down in the middle of her head. But we don't really see them experiencing any pain from this. And this could indicate that the pain level isn't that high when they're on an adventure that isn't in the digital circus, but outside of the circus. But later in the clashing scene, something happened to Ragatha. When Kinga threw a literal ship anchor, he missed, and it flew right over Gummigoo's truck and fell down into the side of the mountain, pulling the circus member's truck into Gummigoo's truck. But there were candy spikes spiking out of Gummigoo's truck, and Ragatha got pierced right through the chest. I definitely think she felt something here, because she got shook by the spike piercing her chest. Other than just a shock, I believe she felt it, but not on the level as if it happened to someone in real life. That would actually kill a person, but in the amazing digital circus, the whole pain level is different as it is a literal cartoon and each character have special abilities. But every time the circus members experience something that would hurt in real life, their mind comprehends it in a different way. Since they're now in the game, I think it has a mental impact on them because their mind is clashing with what would happen in real life and what they in that moment think and feel. But at the end, it's just my theories. Let me know down in the comments what you think about it. And if you have some of your own theories, or if you want me to cover something in the amazing digital circus. Thanks for watching. Subscribe and click on this video here.